But I want you to think about something. All forms of life in nature have a purpose. We know that. We know that from a scientific level, that everything in nature has a purpose. And the foundation of the purpose is more life. Everything does something to contribute to its, to the little world that it lives in. And it does something to receive something from the world that it lives in. Everything has an individual purpose, and they don't cross purpose. As human beings, somehow or another, most of us are not aware that we have a purpose, an individual purpose that is different than an animal, but nonetheless it's still there, and that's a spiritual purpose that its foundation is in creativity. In other words, we can create everything that is shaped by human beings. All the different things that we've created first had to be an image in that person's mind. Well, where did it come from? It was in the universe. All the knowledge that ever was or ever will be is in all places at the same time. Meaning that if I get an idea in my mind, if I start to think about something and it's not actually here in physical form, I have the ability to create that. Because I have it on the first level of creation, which is the image of the intelligence that's already here in the universe. Otherwise, we wouldn't have computers and phones and cars and all of that. It showed up first as knowledge. Our brain has the ability to receive that knowledge. And because we can reason and think, we can organize that knowledge in our mind to bring clarity to what it actually looks like, and then we can create it. Now, back to your purpose. How does a person find their purpose? It's expressed through desire. Not wish, not hope, not that would be okay. It's expressed through desire. Desire, the feeling of desire, meaning that I seriously desire something. I really want it. I'm not basing something in luck or, some idea. It's not where I think I want it today and it's gone tomorrow. It's something that really is coming from the inside of you, is the verification of God's promise for you in this lifetime. If you learn to follow that desire, it will never not lead you into the right place. However, it does not go by the laws that you were raised with. So part of the problem with people following their desire without any mentoring around it at all is that desire will tell you to be, do, or have something that seems completely ridiculous based on where you are in your life right now. One of the things that you see as a thread through whether it was the great thinkers of the past or any kind of religion, in one way or another, somewhere in the texts of what they teach, at some point in a human being's life, they have to make a decision to walk away from the humans in their life that are currently their authority. And it starts off with your parents being the authority, right? Your parents are the authority. But what happens is that most people keep their parents their authority all of their life, and they don't even realize that they do it. It's the voice in your head that's telling you, oh, you can't do that. It's the voice in your head that makes you feel guilty. It's the voice in your head that you hear your mother saying something to you, right? You want to do something. It's the doubt. It's the worry. Those are all voices of other people. And I did not realize that the voice in my head was actually coming from my mother in this scenario. But when he said that, I was like, oh, that's what those texts meant. You literally have to give up that authority, and you have to step into a higher authority so that you can really find out what your higher self is and step into your purpose. It's the only way, because they don't mix. The authority that raised you generally, not always, but generally, was for you to stay safe. The divine authority in your life, and whatever way you want to look at it, is for you to live to your magnificence, not to stay safe. That's not what it's about. So in order for me to understand what my purpose was, I had to walk away. I had to give up something of a lower nature to understand something of a higher nature. The second that I did that, I changed my value. I changed my value in the world because I started to understand my purpose. And my purpose was a much higher value than the way that I was working before, which was safety. In order for you to first recognize what's going to cause you to make more money, you have to step into your value as a person. your value as a person. You have incredible value as a human being. Your purpose has an incredible value, but there's nobody else that can do anything with it except for you. This is where you have to take responsibility for everything in your life, because that's where your power center is. It's in owning your responsibility. See, if you take responsibility for everything in your life, and that doesn't mean that you have to like everything in your life, but everything played a role in being who you are today, and it was absolutely essential for you to be the person that you're going to become. Because there were lessons in it that you may not even understand yet, but the more you become aware of why you're doing what you're doing, you'll become aware of why you experienced what you did. But in that understanding is the greatest power you will ever experience, because you no longer put that power on anybody else's shoulders. You're big enough to hold it yourself without making yourself wrong or bad or guilty or victimized in your own mind, because it has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with the lessons that we need to learn that seem to make no sense on a human level living in a survival world, but they make incredible sense when you understand why you're creating from your purpose. They have totally different meanings that the average person will never understand, because they're too stuck in the way everything works, or the way everything appears to work. It does not seem to make any sense that you can jump your income as much as you can without doing anything different that most people think that you need to do. Literally stepping into the ownership of what you do and realizing the value is not in your product, but the value is in your ability to make a difference with somebody. That's where the value is, and helping them see that value. That gives you the authority, gives you the individual authority to ask for whatever it is that you want. Hey there, thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you got a lot out of it, but I have a question for you. Are you interested in joining other successful-minded people in a supportive online community full of positivity and growth? If so, check out my free transformation Facebook group. The link will be in the description below. We hope to see you there.